Hey, what's going on, guys? So we did get a little bit of an update in terms of what we maybe impacted in during free agency. The Saints, and it's been pretty common practice for them. They've pretty much reworked a couple contracts to increase the amount of cap space they may have currently. Keep in mind, they were the league's leading team in deficit, I guess you can say. They had about $75 million worth of money over the cap. They need to be at least at zero just to, essentially break even. So keep in mind with the moves they made today, they cleared maybe about 26 million. So they still got a ways to go. But it was for two players, one of them specifically that could have impacted us, and this may lead to a few others as well. But Michael Thomas, they pretty much restructured his contract. They were able to convert $14.6 million of his contract into a signing bonus, and then the same thing with Ryan Ramchick at the amount of $18.2 million. So that's around the 26 figure that we got before. Um, Ultimately, I think what will happen is, because it's not like this is the first time that they're doing it to make things work, is there's two priorities for them as they continue to kind of restructure contracts and figure out what they want to do. They've already said with Sean Payton leaving, um, and then of course the retirement of Drew Brees and Jameis Winston getting injured and everything like that. Dennis Allen becoming the new head coach. Um, they still don't plan on it being a rebuild, which is the reason why we're kind of seeing these restructured contracts. So the two priorities are going to be they're still going to be all in on trying to make sure they can get to the playoffs, get a Super Bowl win. So ideally, the targets for them are going to be an Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, depending on what happens. If those don't pan out, both players end up sticking with their respective teams, then I guess the next priority number two is going to be them trying to retain all of their high end players. So this impacts us two ways. For one, Michael Thomas is already going to be off the board. When they restructure the contract, it pretty much makes no sense to try to do any trades because all of that space they cleared is going to become due up front once they trade the player. So Michael Thomas is off the board for us. This also means the safety that we've been aligned with a lot outside of Jesse Bates the third is Michael Williams. So, or Marcus Williams, excuse me. Either way, two players already off the board for us for the at least the Saints, and they were expected to probably have some of the most one of the biggest roster turnovers per se, anyways. Um, Either way, though, I mean, it hasn't happened yet. We'll see if they do end up doing anything with Marcus Williams. But I mean, it would only make sense that they try to retain pretty much any player that they can right now. They know what their playoff. They know that they're a playoff caliber team. Essentially, with everybody that they have right now, anybody that they're bringing in through the draft is essentially just going to be able to kind of get the luxury of being able to get patience, no matter what the draft ranking is necessarily, and develop in a little bit more of the old school fashion. So we'll see what pans out. It's not 100% certain that we won't see Marcus Williams hit free agency, but it looks a lot less likely now after these two early moves from the Saints, and probably a lot more coming soon. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Maybe Marcus Williams wasn't even really a priority for you guys in free agency. Personally, again, and I've kind of mentioned the history of JD and Salah with the teams they've been on a lot already. They haven't prioritized it a lot, at least when it comes to the draft. Maybe free agency will be a little bit different, and they're willing to spend some money there. But then it begs the question: why didn't they want to break the bank for Marcus May and a Jamal Adams? And it'll be the same situation, even if it's unlikely that we end up picking up Kyle Hamilton. But either way, nonetheless, let me know what you guys think, and appreciate the support as always. Peace.